Happy New Year! It is 2023. Now, we have been talking about ways that we can prepare to move into 2023, and we wanted to continue that series. Now, I know, I talk about the fact that I hate resolutions, and I do. I hate the resolutions that are impossible. I'm going to lose 582 pounds in 1 week, or I'm going to stop spending money immediately, right? These resolutions that don't really have plans, and to me, don't really pan out and tend to set us up for failure. But I want to talk about resolutions that we as leaders can make, and resolutions that we can keep. These are resolutions about being intentional. So we're going to cover 3 resolutions that maybe give you something to chew on, something to think about as you're doing what we talked about last week and creating time for you to think. Now, the first resolution that I want to talk about is connect intentionally. This covers a couple of different areas. One, it covers your employees, those that report to you. Spend time with them. Ask them how their holiday was. Ask them if they celebrate Christmas. Ask them if they got anything good for Christmas. They celebrate Hanukkah. Ask them what their favorite food was. If they celebrate any of the other holidays, ask them what are some of the traditions or what are some of their favorite things to do with their family around holidays. Take this moment to start understanding and learning about your employees. Also connect professionally to maybe a new network, a new association. Reach out to somebody in your organization that you've always admired, but haven't had a reason to reach out. I'm giving you the reason to reach out. You can say you were watching this amazing video and it said that you should be intentional about connecting and you wanted to connect with them, right? So the very first resolution that we have is to connect intentionally. Be intentional about touching base with those people who choose to follow you and then creating these new connections and relationships. Now, the second thing that we want to do is learn intentionally. Research has shown that we learn 70% from challenging situations, challenging assignments. We learn 20% from our peers, what we're reading, what's happening around us, and we learn 10% from classes, right? Classes put us in the right framework, give us some tools to go forth and learn in that 20 to 70%. 70% is all about the difficult and challenging situations. That's where we grow and that's where we learn. So in what way can you put yourself in that situation to where you will have the opportunity to learn intentionally? Is it maybe you know that they're going to be rolling out something new at work and you can sign up for that task force? Maybe you want to join an association and get on the board as quickly as possible so you can learn kind of what that feels like and how to influence without having the title to do it. What ways can you get yourself outside of your comfort zone to learn intentionally? Now, I do want to say something about this one. If you are already outside of your comfort zone, you just got married, you just had a kid, you just got a promotion, you just started a degree or certification, you're there. Congratulations, you're doing it. Yay! Don't add more, right? But if you're not in one of those situations where you're growing, learn intentionally. That is our second resolution. How can we lean into that learning and create those environments and those experiences that will allow us to become a better version of ourselves? And then this last one, people intentionally. Y'all are sensing an intentional theme here, right? Yeah. So people intentionally. What does that mean? It means move into 2023 and decide that you want to surround yourself with people who will help you become a better version of yourself. Look around at your circle of friends. Look around at your circle of professional acquaintances, colleagues. Do they all look like you? Do they all think like you? Do they all feel the way you do about major topics? If the answer is yes, then maybe we can look at diversifying that a little bit. How can you find people that are different? How can you broaden your horizons? A couple of different ways that you can do this is by joining an association, joining a network. Another way, if you don't want to have to do something where like you go out and you have to just like mingle for mingle's sake, reach out to the local universities. Find out, are there affinity groups that maybe you can go in and share your experience with? Can maybe you help with interview assistance, resume help, networking assistance, whatever that looks like with these students? And find the affinity groups. Find the affinity groups that are women affinity groups, LGBTQ affinity groups. They're going to have African American, Asian American, Hispanic American. My brain has completely gone blank, but they will have affinity groups for all of these different. And if you ask for a list of the affinity groups, they'll share them with you. Lean in. Surround yourself with people who view the world differently so that you have the opportunity to open up your worldview. And the reason for this is because I guarantee the people that you are leading are not all exactly like you. They look at the world differently. They feel the world differently. They react to the world differently. And if you can understand what maybe some of those motivations are, then it can help you lead them more effectively. And after all, when we go into leadership, we don't want to be the leader that everybody hates. We want to be the leader that people admire and respect. To do this, we have to step outside of our comfort zone. All right. So the 3 resolutions that we are going to make and create as leaders are to connect intentionally, to learn intentionally, and to people intentionally. All 3 of these are a good place to get started. Do me a favor. Are there any that I missed? If there are, go ahead and drop them into chat. I want to hear. If you are doing resolutions this year, what are your resolutions? What are you going to do now that we are in 2023? All right. Thank you for joining me for this week's Weekly Wisdom. Have an absolutely amazing week into the new year. And don't forget, as always, you got this. I'll see you next week.